Hi everybody, welcome to another week of Technique Tuesday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I am so excited to show you guys this really fun technique using dish soap. Now, what does dish soap have to do with paper crafting? I'm excited to show you how this simple and fun technique is loved by everybody of all ages. It's a little messy, it's a little fun, but it's perfect for your next project. Now let me just make sure that I am live here on Facebook. If you're watching, make sure to comment, say hi, let me know where you're joining me from. Looks like I'm live here. Hello Andrea, thanks for joining. If you're watching this via my YouTube channel, live there as well, make sure to comment, say hi. And if you're watching this via replay, let me know where you were able to join me from this week. It is so exciting to bring you guys this simple technique that I'm sure you guys are all going to love. Now, I hope you all have an amazing Independence Day weekend. I had a 4-day weekend off of work, so it was great to be able to relax, spend some time with my husband, see some fireworks, of course, and I hope you guys had a nice and relaxing 4 or 3-day weekend wherever you are and enjoyed the time off. All right, looks like we got a good crowd here today. Hi Sherry, Kathy, Chris, thank you everybody for joining. Now let's go ahead, and I've got a couple quick things to go over before we jump into our technique, so let's go ahead and swap the camera. The first thing is our new holiday mini catalog. The July through December mini catalog is now live. I sent all these catalogs out on Saturday, so you may have been able to get a copy of yours. If you are not currently working with a demonstrator and you've not placed an order with me in the last 6 months and you'd like a free copy, at the link in the description of this video, once I'm done here tonight, you can request your free copy of the catalog. Now, also kicking off is Celebration. Now, if you aren't too familiar with what Celebration is, it's Stampin' Up's biggest promotion that we now host 2 times a year. So we had one January, February, and now July and August. And today, with my Technique Tuesday, I am kicking off my Celebration crafting series, which means I'll be working my way through the Celebration catalog, showing you projects created with the supplies in this brochure. Now, for every $50 you purchase, you get to choose an item out of this catalog for free. So it is something fun. There's stamp sets, dies, paper, coordinating items with our mini catalog, and I'm so really excited about these products. Now that the catalog has kicked off, I can show you the inside. And today we're gonna focus on the first 2 products right in the beginning of the pages. The Hippest Hippos stamp set and the coordinating hippo dies. Now, everything in this brochure is while supplies last, including our stamp sets. So if you see something in here that coordinates with something that you love, know that you want to grab that as soon as possible. My suggestion is that if you like one of the die sets, like the hippo dies, or back here, our tree lot dies that coordinate with a stamp set in the mini catalog, you're going to want to add those first because our dies are not going to be restocked. Stampin' Up makes their own stamps in-house. While I have not heard if they will be restocking stamps, they could if they had that option. So if you are wanting to choose something out of here, you're definitely going to want to choose the dies first because those are the first thing that I foresee to sell out. I have no inside knowledge, but that is where I am getting my details from. So if you have not placed an order with me in the last 6 months and you have not working with a current demonstrator and you'd like a copy of the catalog for free, there will be a link in the description of this video at the end here, and you can reserve your own copy. Now, for the month of July only, I myself am hosting a sail away promotion. I am this close to earning the Stampin' Up incentive trip, and my goal is to earn it before I leave for New Orleans for Stampin' Up Leadership Conference at the end of August. Now, for orders of $30 or more, you receive your choice of free embellishments. Orders of $50 or more, your choice of designer series paper, plus a celebration item. Orders of $100 or more receive a $25 product credit for myself and 2 celebration items. And $150 or more, you receive a $40 shopping credit from myself, 3 celebration items, and host rewards, which are called Stampin' Rewards. So extra free product as well. Now this promotion is only available through myself. So if you have an order you'd like to place, you'll want to message me, send me an email at stampinblondie@gmail.com. I will get your order and it'll ship directly to you from Stampin' Up. So you have to contact me to place the order so that I can add your free items on there for you. All right, also in my holiday catalog packets that I just recently sent out is my July through December class schedule. Now, of course, all of these are subject to change based on product availability, but I have mapped out the rest of the year as much as I can. Starting in August is the return of my holiday catalog or holiday card club. It is a customer favorite that I host August, September, October, November. You don't have to sign up for all 4 months, but at the end of November, you have a stack of Christmas cards ready to mail out. Now, this will be posted on my website, stampinblondie.com. If you have not received a copy of it in your catalog packet that I mailed out, so that'll be posted on there and you'll be able to see all of my upcoming classes, events, retreats, bingo, everything in between. Andrea wants to know how close I am to the incentive trip. I am less than 5,000 points away from earning my second incentive trip. I call it my first because I technically earned it last year, and then 3 weeks later it got canceled because of that darn COVID. But I'm calling this my first incentive trip because they're actually going to hold it this year. So it's a trip to Norway. So I'm very, very excited about that. All right, next up, my July Club Craft and Create. The deadline to register for this is coming up on the 10th, so Sunday is the last day to register. This features the Stronger Together stamp set. We'll be doing some coloring techniques with skin tone Stampin' Blends. These are fun Stampin' Blends that will be included in your class kit, and here are the projects that we'll be creating. This is my favorite. I did this fun fold on Technique Tuesday a couple weeks ago, but this is my favorite project we'll be creating. You get to create 2 of each of these cards in your class kit, so you'll make 8 cards total. Club Craft and Create includes a in-person class here in Tucson or a virtual class via Zoom. So that is how this differs from my card class to go. You receive at least $20 to $25 in product in your class kit, and there is a live or a virtual class, and it's recorded. So if you can't make it, you can still partake in the projects. Deadline to register is Sunday, and I'll have details in the description once I'm done here today. All right, next up, my holiday catalog paper share ends July 10th as well. So if you are wanting a little snippet of all of the papers in the new catalog, the paper share is just for you. You receive 6x6 pieces of either all the designer series paper, all the specialty papers, which are glitter paper, shimmer papers, or you can have option 3, which is the gotta have it all, and you get both. There are 3 options to choose from, mailed directly straight to your house, and this is a fun way to see all the papers in the catalog before you invest in all of them. Again, details on this will be in the description of this video once I'm done here today. All right, the last thing I have to share. Now, this is unfortunately only for our Tucson demonstrators, but if you are local to me, Butter Dish Designs and myself, she's another local Tucson demonstrator, just announced this weekend our Summer Creative Weekend Retreat. This is held August 12th through the 14th. If you are local here in Tucson and you would love more information about this, I will again post a link in the description of this video once I'm done. 3 days of crafting. I know a lot of you wish you lived here in Tucson to be able to attend this, but we are doing this a fun weekend retreat. If you are in Tucson and would love to join us, we would love to have you. All right, Before we jump into our bubble technique, we have Prize Patrol. If you are new, each week I do something called Prize Patrol, where all you have to do is share this video, and comment that you shared, and you're entered into Prize Patrol. Now, last week the Prize Patrol was the Quatrefoil Tile embossing folder. This is a new embossing folder and it is beautiful. I love the way it looks. So our winner for Prize Patrol from last week is Shar. If you are watching, Shar, I do not have your address, so make sure to message me your address and I will pop this in the mail for you. So congratulations, Shar. I'm very, very excited to get that embossing folder to you here. Now, our Prize Patrol this week is something brand new from the July through December mini catalog. It's perfect to put together fast and quick Christmas cards. This is the Santa Express Memories and More card pack. So this includes some pre-printed sentiment pieces and different design pieces for you to easily put together some Christmas cards. We know how hectic the holidays are going to be here, and they're going to be here before you know it. So this has also some wooden punch-out pieces that you can embellish your cards with. So this is our Prize Patrol for this week. Remember, all you have to do is share this video with your friends, comment that you shared, and then you'll be entered. Make sure to comment that you shared. Sometimes your security settings don't always let me know what and who has shared, so make sure to do that. All right, now to the main event. What does dish soap have to do with paper crafting? This is a really fun technique that I like to call the bubble up technique. Very fun, very creative, and very easy to put together. So the first thing you're gonna need is dish soap. Now, I just have Dawn dish soap. You can use whatever dish soap you have. It doesn't matter the brand, the color, the scent, whatever you want to use. You're gonna want to have some dish soap. I am going to be using a plastic cup and a straw, and I'm also going to be covering my workspace because it may get a little messy. So I have my laminated grid paper here just in case we get a little bit messy here today. And then you're also going to want, oh, I knocked one of my cups over, paper towels. I highly suggest having some paper towels off to the side in case you get a little messy or you knock something around. Now here's our two projects. Like I mentioned, we're going to be working our way through the celebration brochure, and so we are going to be using Hippest Hippos today. This is a stamp set. It is redeemable with a $50 order. And it is a stamp set with sentiments and also images. So together, I love these. Cindy, you asked, does it have to be Dawn? Nope, it can be whatever dish soap you have. No specific brand needed. Dawn is just what I had in my kitchen. We're also going to be using the Hippo dies. We're going to be doing some die cutting as well. This is also a redeemable for a $50 order. So this together can be redeemed with a $100 order prior to shipping and tax. So this is free items that you can get from Celebration. All right, our two cards. Here's the first one. This, you can see the bubble up technique does this a really fun kind of watercolory wash background. So our first project we're gonna work on is this one that uses Pool Party. So we're gonna be using Pool Party Re-Inker for our first card. And then our second one here is when we are going to use two different colors. So I can show you this technique with two different colors as well. We'll be using Polished Pink and Blushing Bride for this one. So very, very fun technique, and it is a fun, easy way to be able to create this bubble up technique. All right, so the first thing you need is a glass, just a plastic cup is all I have, and a straw. You need both of these. And then I put my water in a pitcher so I don't spill it all over the place, but just about a half a cup of water in your cup. So I'm not measuring it out. I'm not doing anything specific with this. Your dish soap here, and we're just gonna add our dish soap to our cup. Now you don't want just a couple drops. You want a good amount in there. And then we're gonna take our straw and we're going to swirl it around. Okay, so you're just kind of foaming it up just a little bit. You don't want it to be too bubbly. You just want to kind of get your soap mixed up in there. And we're gonna take, this is the best thing about having two cameras, is that you guys can see this. So I'm just gonna take my straw and blow some bubbles. And there is our first layer of bubbles. Now they're not, here, I'll show you guys up here. You can see they're not super big bubbles, just enough to put there. Now, all of the details for this project, minus the Dawn Just soap, the cup, the straw, these are all found on my free tutorial. It's on my PDF. This is on my website, stampinblondie.com. It has all of the item names, item numbers, prices, and the dimensions for the two projects we're creating here today. I didn't want to forget that, so that you guys know. And I'm going to keep that off to the side because we're going to need one of those dimensions here. Okay, so we're just going to blow some bubbles. You don't want to go too crazy with the bubbles. And we're going to take our Pool Party re-anchor and we're just going to drop a couple of drops in there. Okay, and then you're going to swirl your color around. Now with this technique, you're going to want to use I'm using shimmery white cardstock. You do not want to use a regular basic white cardstock because it doesn't hold your water very well. So the best thing you want to do is shimmery white cardstock or thick basic white cardstock. Don't use regular. You could use watercolor paper as well. But we're going to bring in our our paper towel. I'm going to blow some more bubbles. And I'm just going to take a sip of water. Scratchy throat here, sorry. Good thing I have these cups. All right, there we go. Another added plus of having a pitcher of water. All right, you're going to take your shimmery white and you're just going to kind of move it along. So let me get some more bubbles. And you're just going to kind of tap it along. And if you're noticing you're not getting any color in your bubbles, just drop some more here on the top of your bubbles. This is why you have your paper towel. Swirl it around so you keep that ink towards the top. And then you just kind of see how I'm getting that swirling look. And then you just kind of swipe your paper over it. Oh, I got bubbles on my straw. Wipe that off. And then you just keep bubbling and inking your paper up. And if you notice you have too big of bubbles, just wipe your paper off. There you go. Yes, don't drink the water. Just be careful. Don't drink the same water. All right, now you don't want your paper to get too wet. You'll see it's starting to curl a little bit. That means I don't want to add any more bubbles to this. You want your paper to be able to lay flat and dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in between some of these paper towels. Make sure they're kind of flat here. And I'm going to take my paper towel and my big clear E-block. And I'm just going to put this off to the side. Now you don't want to spill this. Now this re-inker is water-based ink. So if you get it on your hands, it'll wash right off. But I just kind of like to put it in between the paper towels, use my clear block to kind of hold it down, smooth it out a little bit. And then I'm just going to set it off to the side while I work on the rest of my project to kind of let that dry a little bit. All right. Bring in our project here. So we are going to work with these hippos. So we have a piece of Pool Party cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to use my bone folder to crisp up my line. Yes, don't drink the bubbles. Just make sure you use a different cup. A 7-year-old said he's available to help. This would be a perfect project for anybody that has little ones that wants to help craft with them. Now you could get big bubbles in here, the more you can blow and get better bubbles in there, but I think it's perfect just the way it is. Okay, we've got our pool party here, and we're gonna take a spare piece of basic white cardstock. For this, you can just use basic white, and we're gonna stamp our hippos. So I've got this little hippo guy here, and we're gonna stamp him in Tuxedo Black Memento ink. We're doing this because we're gonna stamp with some, or color with Stampin' Blends. Now with Stampin' Blends, you always want to have your workspace covered, and so we're gonna be using our dark and light Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends. And because we have our Tuxedo Black open, we're gonna stamp our sentiment that says, love you a ton. And I'm just gonna pull this off camera so I can make sure I stamp it right in the middle. So there is that. We're gonna close up our black and move it off to the side. Now you can see our paper's still kind of curling, so I'm gonna put my clear block on it. It's okay, the bubbles aren't, and the ink's not gonna get on your workspace because there's hardly any ink on that paper. And our dark and light Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends, we're gonna color the hippo, the outside of the hippo, with the dark blends. And you could blend them together, but I found that just using one of each color on the hippo works really, really well. We're gonna color the body here with dark Smoky Slate. And when you're coloring the hippos, I found that the pen side, like the smaller brush end, works a lot better than the big tip because the hippo is very small. And so if you use the brush end, it's very easy to go outside the lines when you're using this one. All right, now the light Smoky Slate, we're just going to color in the little fingernails here. And then I am gonna use the brush tip on this part because his nose is very big and his belly's big. It's easy to color that in. Now just don't color the mouth. Make sure you miss the mouth there. And we're gonna use those hippo dies to cut it out. So the hippo dies, where did those go? I kind of moved everything out of the way when I was doing the bubble technique. I wanted to make sure that nothing was going to get in the way. Let's see, is that the die? Yep, that's the die. Now with these, I'm going to use a piece of washi tape. Washi tape is paper tape. This will help hold my dies into place as I run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And these work perfect in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I've got my mini machine set up here, and I may have to cut. Yep, I'm gonna have to cut this out a little bit here. Yes, these hippos, okay, so I have to admit, these were not the first thing on my celebration list. I can't wait to work with what I have for number 1 on my list for celebration, but I've seen a bunch of projects made with these and they are just so cute. There we go. So here is our hippo. Now we're also going to die cut. So we'll just peel our washi tape off. When you peel the washi tape, just be careful because it can rip your paper. You just want to lift that up just ever so gently for that. Now also, these dies have the cutest little accessories for the hippo. So there's some party hats and a little tub that he can sit in, an umbrella. This is a boat here, some splashes, but the ones that I found to be the cutest are these little like scuba, it's like a snorkel and a face mask. So we're gonna put him on a scuba snorkel with a face mask like he's in the water here. And we're just going to use some black cardstock for that. And then also, it may be, you may have missed it, there's this fun little like wave. So that is also in this die set right here. And then we're just going to use, make sure, a piece of just pool party cardstock that I have. That's a scrap. So let's bring our die cut machine back and set it up for our scuba attire on this little hippo guy. And you don't need washi tape for that because you're just cutting out the outline of it. You don't really need it. But for this little guy, I am going to use washi tape. And I'm just going to take the bottom of the die and kind of line it up with my cardstock and just place it right over top, just so it's even when I run it through. That's really the main reason for the washi tape here. And then run it through. I liked dressing up the hippo and all the little accessories that come with those dies. That is really fun. There's some sunglasses too. So I've seen some other demonstrators do these little sunglasses on him, and super, super cute. All right, paper, washi tape, that piece is, washi tape is donezo. And then there's our little waves, our snorkel, and our face mask. So all these little pieces, make sure I don't lose them. I'm gonna put them right in my bucket, right there. And we're done with that. All right, so let's assemble our card now. So I'm going to try this and put a wobble behind the hippo. Yes, the wobble is so cute. I just am using dimensionals because I want to be able to mail this card too. I haven't used a wobble to mail yet. I don't know, it's probably too thick unless you want some extra postage on there. All right, so our paper is now mostly dry. It wasn't very saturated to begin with, so you don't have to worry about any ink coming off. With that clear block, this is size E. I just used it to kind of hold it down there. And I'm gonna use my liquid glue. I'm using liquid glue on this because you want a really good seal on there. You could use your Stampin' Seal Plus, but I found that just liquid glue is the best here, but you want a lot. You want this to be able to kind of hold its place there. And I'm just gonna use, see, clear blocks have more than one usage. I like them to just kind of hold down my stuff while I'm working on it. And we're gonna move that off to the side. All right, let's assemble our little circle here. Now this is vellum cardstock. If you've never worked with vellum, it is a semi-transparent cardstock, very flimsy, very easy to see adhesive right through this. Now I've die cut this with this Stylish Shapes dies, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assemble from the top down. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add my little waves here and just use some liquid glue, and that's gonna go right down here. It's going to hang off the edge of our circle, so that is quite all right that it does that. And then with our hippo, we're gonna adhere this with dimensionals. So we're gonna put one there at the top, one here at the bottom, and then he's gonna go right above our little waves there. Now the snorkel and the face mask, you could use our fine tip glue pen, but I already have my liquid glue out here, so just a super thin layer of liquid glue is all you need on the back of that. And that's just gonna go right on his face. And then same thing with the snorkel. Make sure you're putting, it kind of embosses little details in the snorkel, so you just want to make sure you're putting it on the right way. And then there's our, oops, it stuck to my finger because I have glue on my finger. Stay. There we go. Okay, now on the back of this is why we work from the top down with vellum. We're gonna flip it over, and where we have our previous pieces is where we're gonna adhere our glue. This is so that our adhesive doesn't show through when we attach this to our card base. And we can take all of our blocks off and add that right to our card. There we go. And see, no adhesive is shown. We have our sentiment piece that says, love you a ton, and that's just gonna go on with liquid glue as well. Now I'm going to embellish it. These are fun. I love these new iridescent pearl basic jewels. They come in 2 different sizes, and we're gonna use our take your pick tool with the spatula end and 3 of the larger size pearls, and they're just gonna go right on our card. As the final touch, I have some white baker's twine. This is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and we're gonna take 2 strings about 8 inches, 9 inches long, whatever you prefer. And we're gonna tie those 2 pieces in a bow and adhere to our card with mini glue dots. So I like to take my 2 pieces and tie it into a quick bow here. Grab the 2 loops and pull. I know that's probably really quick for some of you guys, but just for time, if you aren't comfortable with tying 2 pieces of twine together, you can always do 1. And then hold the middle and pull tight, and then you can take both ends and kind of cut them all 4 at the same time. And then with our glue dots, come in with our take your pick tool with the sharp end. Now, every time I use my glue dot holder, I get a message after Makers Monday or Technique Tuesday, where did I get my glue dot holder? So this is called the Glue Dot. Oh, it's still stuck on my take your pick tool. It's called the Glue Dot Desktop Dispenser. I will tell you, it was discontinued in about 2017, but if you can find one online, grab it, because they have been, every time somebody asks me, I always try to go online and find one for them, and I have been unsuccessful in finding one. So Glue Dot Desktop Holder, Desktop Dispenser. But that is our first project using the Bubble Up technique. I hope you guys like this technique, and I'm excited to show you the second project. This uses 2 different colors with the Bubble Up technique. So if you're just hopping on and you missed how to do the first one, I'm gonna do a second one, so just hang tight here and I will get it all set up. So let me know what you guys think about that first Bubble Up project. I love that little hippo guy. He's so cute. And even better, he's free. You can get him for free. All right, second project. This one, I love the little ballerina, and I love a kind of punny sentiment. So it says you're always on point, and it has this little hippo doing ballet. So very, very fun. Now this one, again, we are going to use shimmery white cardstock. The shimmery white, if you missed it at the beginning, this holds water just a little bit better. If you are trying this technique, do not use basic white cardstock. It will not work very well. You'll want to use shimmery white, thick basic white. You can try it with that, or watercolor paper. Watercolor paper and shimmery white are going to give you the best results. All right, this time we're doing 2 different colors. This project features Blushing Bride and also Polished Pink. So we're gonna use 2 different color pinks here. You'll need 2 cups and 2 straws. You don't wanna mix your cups and straws together, because with the 2 different pinks, you're not gonna get that vibrant hue if you mix the 2 colors together. Water, I have it in a pitcher here. So we're just going to fill our cups up about halfway. There we go. This one I took a drink out of earlier, so there's a little bit in there. And again, dish soap. Doesn't matter what brand it is, doesn't matter what color it is, doesn't matter what scent it is, just dish soap. And you're gonna pour that into bubbles, and our second. I love using things around the house that people don't think of for our card making. We've used wax paper in Technique Tuesday. We've used tin foil. We've used dish soap now. I've used baby wipes. It's fun to show different ways to use things that you already have around your house and how you can use them in a different variety. If you are ever curious about my videos, they're all archived here on Facebook, so you can see them and watch all the different techniques that I've done and all my other Makers Monday videos as well. So I'm just swirling around the soap in here to get a little bit of a bubble started, and we're gonna blow in this one. Get that one going, blow in this one. There we go. And our Blushing Bride, we're just gonna drip. See, this is a fun way to use re-inkers as well. No, they're not just for re-inking your ink pads. You can use them for your watercoloring. You can use them for any different kind of project here. So that's a good one. We've got a good layer of color on the top there. So we're just gonna swirl this and drop in our polished pink. Swirl that around. You can see how it's really, really pink there at the top. That's gonna give us good coverage with our colors. All right, we're gonna start with our polished pink since it's right here. And we're going to just wipe that on there. You can see I'm just kind of moving the paper around as I blow into the straw. Now this one, I don't want it to have too much coverage of the polished pink because we still have a second color. So we're just gonna wipe some of those bubbles off. And now we're gonna bring in, get some of that color up here again. Now, Blushing Bride is more of a darker pink. So it's not gonna be as vibrant as our polished, but we're just gonna add some more re-inker up here. You want the ink towards the top. That's what's gonna give you that bubble marbly effect. All right. So I'm just moving my paper around. You can see there's some of that darker pink on there and just kind of tapping it around where I want color to be. And I think this one is just about done. So I'm gonna wipe off my bubbles. That'll help my paper dry just a little bit faster. Now I also have my ceiling fan going in my craft room right now, so that's gonna help that dry a little bit. But you can see all the different swirls of polished pink and Blushing Bride. And we're gonna move these off to the side so I don't spill those onto my space. I'm gonna bring back in that piece of paper towel, and I'm just gonna lay that in here with my blocks on top. Now you may have noticed this is a much bigger piece. I did that on purpose because we're gonna cut it down, and I wanted a section to be able to hold onto that I wasn't going to be cutting. So we're just going to fold our paper towel over, put our blocks on top, just to make sure it kind of dries flat, and we can move our grid paper out of here. And then we're gonna work on our card. So we have here, you guys can see that, I'll move that there. This is a piece of basic white cardstock, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Again, remember all the dimensions for the projects that I'm making here today are found on that free project PDF tutorial on my website, stampinblondie.com. You can pair that with this video to create the projects here today. And I'd love to see what you guys do with this bubble up technique. I know you guys really were interested when I posted that teaser earlier this afternoon about dish soap and paper crafting. So if you guys do make these projects or any variation of them, please, please, please post them on my Create with Stampin' Blondie Facebook page, because I would love to see what you guys make with them. It's a fun group for a bunch of inspiration and different projects. All right, I got a piece of polished pink cardstock and basic white cardstock here. And we're just gonna move that over and do our stamping while our paper here dries still. So our piece of basic white cardstock, we've got our sentiment of "You're always on point." We're gonna stamp this on that Stylish Shapes die cut piece, and this is using polished pink as well. And I'm just gonna stamp this right in the middle. This card is all about polished pink. Now, while we're using Blushing Bride as one of our undertones for our marbling effect, polished pink is a much prettier pink, I think. So we're gonna use that instead. Okay, I need my Tutu Hippo and Memento ink. Again, this one is kind of just like our last one. We're gonna stamp in Tuxedo Black. We're still going to use the Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends, and then I'm also gonna use polished pink. I'm only gonna use the light polished pink. I'm gonna bring in our grid paper because we're coloring here with Stampin' Blends. With the polished pink, I'm only going to use the light version for her tutu and point shoes. Now I feel like they missed an opportunity because point shoes are P-O-I-N-T-E. So I thought that would have been a great punny sentiment for this, but regular spelling of point works as well. All right, and then her little point shoes. So we don't need dark. Our light, we're gonna color in the nose. And this one you don't have to worry about the mouth because the mouth is closed. So we're just gonna use the big brush end here to color this in. And this little section right here. There we go. And again, with the big hippo, we're gonna use, or for the dark, we're gonna use the point end for that, just to give us a little more control with the Stampin' Blends to be able to color that in there. Now again, you can color this in however you want. I've seen people do like a petal pink belly on the hippo. I've seen purple hippos. You know, you can color the hippo whatever color you want. But I thought the Smoky Slate was like the closest color to the actual hippo. And here, there we go. Okay, and we're going to, oh, I forgot to color in the nails here. So this is just the light right there. And we're gonna use our hippo dies one last time for the ballet part. And again, because you're die cutting a stamped image, you're gonna wanna use some washi tape to hold that down. And I'm just gonna cut this out because I don't know if that'll fit through my machine or not. But I like how this fits through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because you can just, you don't have to get the big one out if you are just crafting at your desk here. All right, mini machine plates, die plate, run this through here. I'm glad you guys are liking this. I thought it was fun. I saw this online from another demonstrator who did this, and I wanted to try it out for a while. And with yesterday being a holiday, I wasn't going to do Maker's Monday, and I was like, ooh, this would be the perfect Technique Tuesday to show you guys how to do this really fun technique. Okay, now our marbled paper here should be done. Now look at that. You can see the little bubbles here, the big swatches of color. Very fun, very exciting on how to put that together. And now we just need to trim this down a little bit. So let me make sure, like I said, all the dimensions are on here So I need 3 1/4. And then my pieces are cut to, I think these are just 1 inch. So we just have our 1 inch pieces. Sorry, it's probably off camera. I'm just cutting 1 inch down of each piece here, and 4 pieces. So on the measurement PDF, this said you needed a 6-inch piece. That was just to hold it while you were doing your colors. You still have this little piece. You can make something else fun out of that too. So don't throw that away. You can use that. And what I like to do is, before I glue anything down, I just kind of like to line this all up on my paper, make sure it's even. Now this would be really fun with some blues. You could do like a snowman theme. There's a Yeti in the new catalog. That would be fun to do, like a snowy background. And we also have a returning favorite of our snowman puff paint. So with the stamps in the Yeti, there's a whole mountain stamp. So you could do the Yeti with a mountain stamp, some of this fun background here, and some blues to make it look like it's snowing. Add some puff paint, and you have a really fun 3D project right there. All right. And I am going to be doing a class with the Yeti. I love that little guy. He is currently in the box on the floor back here. So he is definitely on the lineup for some Stampin' Blondie classes there. All right. That is our background piece. Now our hippo is Stampin' Dimensionals. So just to give that a little pop up for our hippo piece here, and she'll go in our lower left corner. Our sentiment piece is gonna go in the upper right. Linda, hello from Iowa. Linda, where are you from in Iowa? I'm originally from Iowa. I grew up in Marion, Cedar Rapids. My husband is from Cedar Rapids. My mom is watching. She's in Cedar Rapids. I am an Iowa State grad. I love Iowa. I miss Iowa. I need to go back and visit. So I hope you are enjoying my video. I love Iowa. It's fun to see people from Iowa. All right, this is the Polished Pink Open Weave 3/8 of an inch ribbon. This comes in all of our 2021, 2023 in colors. So we've got some bright colors for these ribbons. And we're just gonna tie that in a single bow. So not any double bow for that. Just make this a little smaller here. And pull, hold that in the middle. And we're gonna use glue dot again. Now you could use liquid glue on this one, but I highly suggest using a glue dot because of this open weave mesh here. If you use too much of the liquid glue, it could ooze out of that mesh, so you definitely want to just use a glue dot, and you don't have to worry about any of that. Now we are going to use these fun iridescent pearls one last time, but we're going to make them pink. So this is very easy, again, kind of a technique if you want to call it, but you just take your polished pink or whatever color Stampin' Blends you want to use, and you just take the brush end and you color, we want to use the dark one. You color directly onto whatever embellishment you want to change the color of. Because Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers, they dry very, very quickly. So you can build on the color here and make them as dark or as light as you would like. So now you always have embellishments to match your projects that you're working on. And you just take your spatula, and these are gonna go, got a fuzz on that one. These are gonna go in the lower right corner of your project. And see, because they dry so quickly, you don't have any mess on your hands. And there you go. Very fun, easy way to change the color of any embellishments that you have with some Stampin' Blends. Just a little secondary technique for Technique Tuesday. So I hope you guys enjoyed our projects here today. I'll bring them back in so you guys can see both. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. I have to say the polished pink, I love pink, but the little snorkel on that hippo, I'm sorry, that's just so adorable. So let me know in the comments which one you guys think is your favorite here today, and I am excited to see which ones you guys think is your favorite as well. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me for another week of Technique Tuesday. Next week, I'll be back at my regular live Monday at 5 p.m. Pacific for Makers Monday, where we continue to work through the Celebration catalog. Next week, I'll be featuring the Ringed in Nature stamp set and bundle with the Coordinating Designer Series paper. Remember, if you do not have a current demonstrator and you haven't placed an order with me in the last 6 months, and you'd like a copy of the new July through December mini catalog, right after I'm done here, I'll be putting links in the description for everything I talked about here today. So I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you next time.